everybody, thanks for coming back, thanks for watching. This is sort of my first proper real video of the new year. My last one was a bit of a cheat. I'd filmed it earlier in December and was just waiting to put it out. But what I thought I'd do with this one is just a bit of an update, because there seems to have been a lot happened over the Christmas and New Year period. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on that and show you some of the things that's been going on. The first thing was Brachypelma boemi male. I've had him probably about 4 months now. I bought him in preparation for my female that's up here. Oh, camera went a bit mad there. My female that's up there, she's pretty much close to maturity now. Plan B, breed him in the future with her. So he's moulted, and like I say, I've got some footage. So yeah, there's a little clip of him here. This first one's from when he'd literally just flipped back over. I think this was probably maybe half hour after he'd flipped, and then this was a good, I think, the day after. The light isn't the greatest here, so it doesn't do the colours the best of justice, but this was filmed quite late, and I only had my camera flash. But yeah, like I say, he's coming on really well. He's looking pretty decent now. All the better ready to breed in hopefully next year, the year after. So another thing that happened, which I had been waiting on, but it had taken a while, if I'm honest. I'd expected to happen a lot sooner, was my Brachypelma dorii, or Brachypelma dorii, as some still call it. That's moulted as well, and you'll see in this footage, or this clip that I got for you here, that he's looking pretty, I'd say I'm pretty certain it's a he. He was managed to get one molt out of its tank when it was smaller, and I sexed it as a male then, but I mean, I've been wrong before, but if I'm honest, I don't think I am. But yeah, what you see there is, that's that old YouTuber thing of feeding the tarantula and forgetting to press record. So I've just got some footage here, although I missed the takedown. I thought I'd still show you the footage afterwards. You have to excuse my shaky hand as well, because this was literally me about 2.5–3 inches away from the spider holding my phone, like one of those moments where my other half walks in, freaks out a little bit, because she always thought, up until I actually moved in with her, she thought I used Zoom for most of my photos. Didn't realise I actually get my hand right in the tank, and so yeah, I do apologise for the shaky hands, but like I said, they're about 2.5 inches from a really spicy tea, so I think that's fair enough. So another molt, because we had a hell of a lot of molts over the course of Christmas and New Year. The next one being, as this clip here you'll see, is this is my H. pulchripes. Again, this is a suspected male, but I could be wrong. So the first little sort of photo that you've seen, that was of it when it had literally just moulted and flipped back over. You could see the colour was really sort of translucent on the legs, and this is me sort of a day or so later as I was taking them all out. But I debated moving all that webbing to get a better sort of look at him, but I thought it might be best just to leave him. I'd managed to get some more shots of him. He's usually a pretty good feeder, so you never know, hopefully he might make an appearance in Fatal Fangs 3, all being good. But yeah, that was another one that we had. And then the next one was one from my last video. I did actually show in that my P Metallica, it had actually held itself up sort of within about 12 to 16 hours of going in there. So this is it now. It's this wasn't the greatest footage because it's quite skittish, so I had to try and get the best when I can, but that's something better there. You get a better idea of the colours now. And believe it or not, this is another male. This is Greg, so called because my other half bought me him for Valentine's Day and wanted me to name it after something Valentine's related, so I named it after Greg the Hammer Valentine, the wrestler from the 90s. You can guess she was pleased about that. But yeah, and then next up, we also had a molt from that same video. One of the Pierre Miniers, one of them had not long since molted. I think it was the first one I rehoused in that video had not long molted, but the second one, I think I did say in the video that it was probably due a molt. Well, that one's actually molted, and you can't see great from this footage, but there is a molt at the bottom there, and you can see sort of the spider's legs. I do get some slightly better footage of her, but again, she's been quite reclusive. There we go, you can really see those markings, them orange ticks at the end of the feet, or markings, I call them ticks, they look like similar to Nike signs to me. And then this was another early morning shot of her. See, the colours aren't so great here, but you get a good idea. She's about 4.5, 5 inches now. I say she. My males had all matured by now, so I'm hoping that the fact that she hasn't is a good indicator that she's that it's a girl. If not, no worries. And the next one I've got for you here is my B Amelia. Now you see in this little clip here, it's only tiny, but the reason I wanted to show you this is when I got back into the hobby about 2.5 years ago, I bought a mystery box from the spider shop. It had 5 slings in it, one of them being my Versi, the female Versi I've got, the other being my Agent, the matured out male, and salmon pink, that's also a male. But I also had this little dude, and it was about 1 centimetre maybe. Well, it's finally broke the 1.5-inch mark now after 2.5 years, so he's getting there slowly, very slowly. But yeah, so that was some of the sort of the molt updates that I've got for you. And one thing I just wanted to sort of add, I mean, it wasn't all great. I have had a couple of deaths. I actually lost 2 slings. One of them was Chilobrachus fimbriatus, which was good because I love them, and probably my favourite species. So I lost a sling. I hadn't seen it for months and months, so I decided to dig through the dirt, and it was sort of half decomposed, so I'm not really sure what had happened, whether it be a bad molt or what. And I also lost another H. pulchripes sling that I had after a molt. It sort of molted, and sort of 2 days later it had died. It just never, I don't know what went on really, so it was just one of those things. And in my balfouri communals, I've got my communal of what was 5 here, but that's now only 4, as one of those had a bad molt and died. That was sort of the week before Christmas, I think that was. And I've also up here somewhere got a 10 sling balfouri communal, and I found one of those in a death curl. That was sort of the week before Christmas as well, so I wasn't able to, it had gone by the time I found it, so there was no recovering it. I mean, that was as much as there was in the way of deaths. So like I say, it was only a small bit of bad shit that went on really compared to all the other good stuff. But what I do want to show you is the balfouris, not the balfouris, I will show you a balfouri in a minute, but first off I just want to give you a little update on the hamories that moulted in my Christmas update. So this first clip was the male. There you see him feeding there. He's doing really well. In fact, they're both doing really well. But he put on a fair bit of size. He's probably about 3.5 inches now. So he was advertised as about 6-7 centimetres, but he was a lot bigger than that when he actually arrived. And they'll show you a quick clip of her now. This was about, I think this was about 10-12 days after she moulted, but she still wasn't happy. So I gave her this, well, I gave her one try with this Morio, and she wasn't interested. So I took it out, and incidentally she hasn't fed since then. So we will just have to see what goes on there. I mentioned balfouris. Now I've got, obviously, the communals I've already spoken about, but I've also got a big solo female who moulted around about November time. I did try pairing her, but she went into pre-molt and the male died, so it was just one of those. Anyway, she's showed a face on New Year's Day of all days, so I've got a clip of her feeding, which I think you see not the greatest of feeding clips, but it does give a really good view of her. She's an awesome looking spider, and I just thought that little clip would be a good way to end the video off after the talk of the deaths. Like, so that's it for today. Again, just going to say thanks to everybody for watching, because I suppose I did a bit of promotion, which I don't not do a lot of really. I put myself about on some of the Facebook groups and got a nice little rush. Got me past the 100 subscribers mark over Christmas, so I think it's about 120 or just short of 120 now actually. So yeah, just want to say thanks to everybody for the support. And like I say, if yous do, or if anybody's on Instagram, go over there and check out my Instagram page. It's Andy_spiders_. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers. Ta-ra.